Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is second try number 2. Yesterday, I went live on my usual Tuesday lunch meeting, and you probably saw the image and the video online with no sound. And the reason is I had a number of hardware challenges yesterday, and I just didn't notice that I was going on and on and on with no sound. And for those of you who are good at lip syncing and lip reading, you probably figured out like a 20th of whatever I had to say. So I decided I'd just go back and record and answer the same questions that I addressed yesterday because they were that good. Before I start, I want to remind you every Tuesday at noon Eastern Time, which is 9 Pacific or about, I believe, 11 Central, I will go live every time, 30 minutes, and I will answer your questions, whatever they are, related to developing your team, your growth, whatever it is that you want to discuss, that you want to cover, that has to do with your growth and your personal and professional development. I'm happy to help provide my perspective, my thoughts, and leverage my 30 plus years of experience to hopefully give you a perspective that'll be useful. One of the things that I also mentioned was that we are smack dab in the middle of Q4. This is the most packed quarter with activities and opportunities for you to interact with senior leaders, with senior management in your company. So you have to be ready. You have to have this presence that will sell you, that will create that great impression. Remember, throughout the year, you don't get to see them all that often. They don't get to see you, more importantly. You know who they are? They do not necessarily know well who you are. So you have few opportunities in which you want to impress upon them the value of what you can add, your professionalism, your capabilities, and your potential. You accomplish this by showing up at every meeting, every review, every interaction, every dialogue, every elevator ride, the proverbial elevator ride, with your full presence, with the aplomb, the self-assuredness, and the knowledge that you can fill a room, that you're the expert in your field, and that you have value that you can add. You have to make sure that you show up with a presence that will draw others to you, that will make them want to listen, that will command respect. That's called executive presence. And the good news, my friend, is that I have a totally free resource for you, Presence with Power, Essentials of Executive Presence. And what that is a mini course. So I'm not going to pretend that it's a deep course. It's a free resource after all, but it does give you a high level overview of the elements that you need to master to develop and strengthen your executive presence. It's super important. So I think the timing is good. Go download it for free and it's yours forever. So all you need to do is go to free course, single word, .buildyourgrowth, single word, .com. Let me say that again. Free course, .buildyourgrowth.com. And all you need to do is put your email in so that I can send you a link and you can access the course and it's yours. That's it. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope to see you there. Also remember that if there's any questions, any other things that I don't get to address, feel free to post it in the comments below or just DM me or visit my website and get in touch with me. My website is www.VSharper, which is VSharp with an R at the end, .com. And I will be happy to answer any questions. So with that, let's go to the first of the excellent questions that were posted yesterday. So it reads like this. I got promoted and will start my new job in January, but I'm feeling overwhelmed and with stage fright. I feel scared to fall short. Do you have any advice? Well, this is commonly known as imposter syndrome. You might be feeling like you're coming in from a lower level up to this bigger job, where more will be expected of you. And that's absolutely correct. You will be expected to be able to do more. But remember, the reason you got promoted in the first place is because people thought that you were already functioning at the level that you were just promoted into and that you are capable of being promoted at least once more. So you have what it takes. People who are around you, who make decisions around your career, already judged that you were ready to take the leap and that you're ready to make contributions. So the main obstacle in your mind, the main thing that's in your way is yourself. Get out of your own way. Know that you can do it. You can add the value. You did not stumble upon your promotion because you're nice, because you sing well, or because you say good morning to everybody in the elevator. You're there because you earned it, because you know how to do your job, because you've shown that you can function at higher levels. So know this. And that's the first thing that I'm going to recommend. The second one is do visualization exercises. I've been there. My friend, I know you, I feel you. I was there before, and I also felt the same thing. So it's super useful, and it sounds a little woo, but it's super useful for you to find a quiet spot, sit down comfortably, even lay down if you can, or just stand. But the most important thing is that you find a quiet spot. Close your eyes and visualize yourself being successful at your job. Walking in that meeting room with presence, looking at people in the eye, being authoritative when you speak, having that gravitas. Picture yourself as though you're watching a movie. And it's important that you do it with conviction. Feel like you're there. Feel like you're doing it already. Listen, your brain does not know the difference. If you feel like you're doing it, to your brain, it means you have done it. And the confidence that you're going to show up with is going to be very, very different. So that's something that I want you to do. The last one that it might sound a little out there. You want to let your brain know that you're confident and that you're unshakable. And it's called power poses. So what I want you to do is stand like this with your hands on your hips, smile, lift your chin, feel confident, breathe in, straighten your back, feel powerful, fill the space, visualize yourself, and nod. So just imagine like you're I don't know, Superman, some superhero, and you're striking this power pose, feeling confident, feeling good. I know it sounds crazy. You might feel a little silly. It's not. It works. So do that. I cannot wait to hear about your success when you start in January. I cannot wait to hear about the accolades and the praise that you're going to get. And I cannot wait to hear how many people you will inspire. So go at it and keep me posted. All right. Following next question, my friend Horland Harry, shout out to you. I did a shout out yesterday, but obviously with no sound. So I want to honor you because you're the first person to write your name in a question. So Horland, thanks for the question, which is, and also for the kind words. I'm just going to read it out loud verbatim. Thanks for the insights, Eduardo, especially how to communicate better with upper management. Question is, what about tools like Grammarly and AI on improving communication? So I'm all for them. They are great writer's block breakers. So if you're feeling like you're staring at your screen or at a wall or just into space and don't know where to start with crafting a communication, with writing something, with creating content for a presentation or a speech or whatever, AI is a fantastic way to kickstart your creativity, get your creative juices flowing. So by all means, do it. Grammarly will focus on your grammatical structure, like the name suggests. There's also Quillbot. Quillbot will also help you to do that, particularly if you give it something that you already wrote for it to correct and to check. Obviously, ChatGPT, who everybody knows, will help you with that. You can give it a prompt, and it can spit back at you a specific, content along the lines of whatever it is you required. But here's my big watch out for you, is don't rely on AI. AI will not substitute your brain. You have your own knowledge, you have your own experience, you have your own perspectives that you have developed over years of work, years of practice, years of perspective, years of scriptness. So AI will never be able to substitute for you. Use AI as a starter. But do not, and again, repeat, underline with double lines, underscore, do not just copy paste whatever AI gives you, right? Because everybody can tell. I know I can immediately tell when something comes from ChatGPT or some similar service. It just sounds different. And they make mistakes. So make sure that you review whatever comes out. Make sure that you put your own spin on it, your own thoughts, your own flavor, your own voice. But that said, by all means, I think they're great tools. Feel free to use them, but do not lose Horland in the process. Be sure to bring your own greatness, your own value, and your own experience to it. All right, let's go to the next one. How do you suggest I handle the overwhelming amount of tasks and information coming my way? It's crazy. Well, the analogy that I used yesterday when I responded this question, again, in without sound, so my mute answer to your question was, this is called drinking from the fire hose. There's just so much coming at you. There's just, imagine yourself like trying to drink out of a fire hose. Fire hoses are used to wash people away, like actual persons. So imagine the pressure and try drinking out of that. That's how it feels. I've been there. I feel your pain. It's a lot. You feel overwhelmed. You feel like just in an avalanche of new things. And my best advice from my own experience is be very selective and be very critical of what you give your time to. There's two aspects to it that I would like you to be cognizant of. One is there's a cost of opportunity, or rather an opportunity cost to saying yes. If you're just saying yes to anything that's thrown your way because you want to impress upon your leaders how capable you are, how many balls you can juggle, how many things you can multitask around, you're going to find very quickly that it's not sustainable, that you're going to do suboptimal work at one of them, and that you run out of time. Remember, God only gave 24 hours to each day. If you start to fill them, then something by necessity will have to drop. Time with your family, sleep, time with yourself, exercising, whatever. Something's going to have to drop. And guess what? It'll lead to burnout. So be cognizant of the opportunity cost of saying yes. The flip side to that, or very closely associated with that, is master the art of saying no. It sounds maybe a little extreme, but you have to be able to set boundaries. So if there's just too many things that you're already doing, why not tell your boss, hey, what of these 19 things do you want me to drop? I cannot do everything, and I want to do a good job. So I can only focus on 3. Which are the 3 that you want me to really focus on? Don't be afraid to do that. And I actually think that your boss might appreciate your constructive pushback, because that'll help him or her set priorities and think about priorities, and also give the right value to whatever it is that he or she asks you to focus on. So when you say no, you will be freeing yourself from the slog and the drag of just tasks that you take on, right? So you will not be aggravating your own soul, your time, and your sense of well-being. You will be very deliberate and better focused on the few things that you choose to do, and that you let your supervisor know that you're going to be focusing on. So those are 2 things that I really, really want to give to you as advice for the situation. Not everything is equally important. It might feel like it is, it's not. So of all of that fire hose that you have, throwing water at you at super high pressure in super high quantities, there's only like 3 nuggets that are really important. It's the law of Pareto. 20% of everything that's thrown your way has 80% of the value of your contribution. So find that 20% and focus on that. Zero in on that like a laser beam. And that's how you keep yourself sane, and you build time for yourself, your family, and other priorities. So I've been where you are, but start now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Start now and Prioritize. Think about the 3 things that you're going to do tomorrow, and that's all. Talk to your boss, talk to whoever, but set those priorities straight, and don't forget the cost of opportunity of saying yes, and master the art of saying no. All right, thanks for the question. Let's go to the next one. Anonymous asked, should I switch jobs after losing a promotion due to office politics? This was confirmed when speaking with my manager. Is this normal? I feel very underappreciated. Again, my friend, I feel you. I've been where you are, and I know what it feels. On the other hand, what I will also tell you is, again, with the benefit of decades of experience, the first thing that you might have heard me give out as advice, if you follow me, if you've been to these discussions before, is I want you to start by looking in the mirror and assessing yourself. The word politics means different things to different people. So your supervisor might be using the word politics to mean that other stakeholders who decide how fast people grow or who gets promoted next are seeing some things in that other person or those other people that they're not seeing in you. So they might say, I prefer Joe to Jane, assuming you're Jane, right, in this example, because I see him or her doing this and this and this, that I don't see her doing as often. And maybe your boss is using the word politics to describe that. I hope you will agree with me that what I just described is not politics. That's just, are you tooting your own horn? Are you letting people see your contribution? Are you making it easy to understand what your contribution brings to the table? Because that other person is. And because they're getting promoted, they're getting noticed, people have a good opinion, and now they have a positive, favorable halo around them. And that's something that I want you to create for yourself. So this might be hiding under the word politics. That's the first thing. Second consideration, look at yourself in the mirror again. And are you being overly sensitive to the word politics? Remember, politics in and of itself is not bad. You can use politics to promote the work of your team. You can use politics to advertise how important one of the initiatives that you are handling is so that you get more resources. It could be money, it could be people, it could be time from leadership, it could be sponsorship. So if this other person or others around you are good at this, they're making good use of politics. And it's not, disloyal. They're not stabbing you in the back. So think about that too. Is there something that you should be doing and you're not? Are you being overly sensitive? And is there something that you should look at before reacting? Now, third one, it could be real. It could be that somebody's playing favorites, that somebody is pushing somebody else because of things that are not related to their performance. It's a real possibility. I have seen it. All I'm trying to say is make sure that you rule out the other 2 possibilities before deciding that it's just bad politics. But if it is, go to your boss and confirm that this is indeed a case where politics are being negatively used and impinging upon your career. If that's the case, then try to understand whether this is pervasive in your company. Is this how the company culture works? It could be. I've been in places like that. And then it's a decision you will need to make. Do you want to stay there? Do you want to change? My most important advice would be integrity is the most important thing. Be true to yourself, to your values, to who you are, and know well what you're going to take and what you're not going to take. Do not stay in an atmosphere that's going to damage you, that's going to hurt you, that's going to have an impact on your health and well-being, just to stay in a job, just to get a title, or just because you're feeling competitive. Don't stay there if it's going to hurt you. So that's the important thing is, again, communication is the most important rule. Make sure that you understand what your boss really means, your manager really means when they are saying politics, And if it's a disloyal use of politics, then think about it. And also, by the way, if it's a disloyal use of politics, if the person's great at kissing up, also know that this is not sustainable. At some point, people realize, leaders realize, the powers that be can tell if somebody is really of substance and if somebody else is just marketing in flash. Your decision is going to be, do you wait long enough and do you persevere enough to let your achievements be advertised and known so that things fall into place under their own weight. But that's your decision. Hopefully that's helpful. And again, I'm not just going to give you the easy out of saying, yeah, you should start distributing your resume. That's an easy out. First, evaluate, assess yourself, because if you don't and you just move out and go to another company, guess what? You're going to feel the same. Okay, my friend? All right, let's go to the next question. I get very nervous in meetings before meetings with my supervisors, and we have some reviews coming up. Any tips? I feel this hurts my image. Well, yes, it hurts your image if you're showing up there and you're so nervous that you're just going to blank, that you will forget the answers, that you will seem unsure, and that you're just going to create the doubt as to whether you really have the command of your topic, or you're not going to be seen as much as you would like to as the next generation as one of the next leaders in the next generation, right? So you have to know that. Now, it's great that you're thinking about it, and it's great that you are self-aware enough to know that this is the case. This is human. Everybody feels that. Yesterday, I shared, again in silence, the example of a mentor of mine, a CFO for a multi-billion-dollar company who, until the day he retired, felt nervous before he got in front of the microphone to talk to analysts every quarter. It had to do with imposter syndrome, but the reason I bring it up is because he was very nervous every time that he did that, just like you. And in order to combat that, what he did was he over-prepared. He didn't prepare once or twice. He prepared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. He talked through the whole thing out loud in front of a mirror in his office many times. He actually said every word. He went through the whole deck, through his remarks, through his most frequently asked questions that he was ready for. And I want you to do the same. So before you go into those reviews, prepare. And when you think you're prepared, prepare some more. And then give it a rest, and then prepare some more. Go through your presentation. Go through it until you can do it with your eyes closed. Get your wife or husband or friends or significant other, whoever, give them the presentation. Have them give you critique for your pace, for your clarity, for your volume, for whether you are conveying that you know your topic. Talk to a colleague. Ask them to hear you out. If your boss is going with you to this meeting, ask him or her for help too. That's their job. They need to help you grow too. They need to help you train. Like I said, the CFO of a big old company felt that nervousness before every quarterly meeting with the analysts. Why wouldn't you be nervous if you're going to be presenting to your CEO or some other senior leader? It's normal. So go to your boss and ask for help. That's one of the things that most of us struggle with the most. Asking for help, showing vulnerability, and cracking that facade that we know it all, that we're always in control. We're not. You don't know it all. You're not always in control. And it's fine to be a human being and to be nervous and to ask for help. So go do that. And like I said to the person who asked me the first question, please do keep me posted. I'm sure that you're going to kill it. You're going to crush it in your meeting and you're going to do fantastic. I am super happy to see that you're self-aware. That's one of the most important virtues. And then that you're wanting to do something about it. So good luck and you're going to kill it. I know you're going to be successful. Let me know. Keep me posted about how your meeting goes. Thank you. Okay, next question. Can you share about your entrepreneurial experience and how you made such an abrupt shift after having been a CFO? Okay, so the same question was asked yesterday. I love the question because there's a lot to it. But just like yesterday, we are out of time. So I will keep this question in the queue for next week. Actually, I will keep it noted down somewhere so that when I start with the list in Slido, I can go to those questions first. There's another one that just came in that says, is it normal for my company to not provide a career roadmap despite my stellar performance and multiple requests? Fantastic question. My friend, I will also give you an answer next Tuesday, so please make sure to tune in and we will speak then, because right now we're out of time and I don't want to just cram an answer into the last 1 minute that I'm going to use. To remind you, go to freecourse.buildyourgrowth.com and get your free mini course on executive presence. Believe me, if there's a time when you're going to need to have a solid executive presence, it's now. It's Q4. It's when you meet most of the senior leaders in your companies and where they're going to be evaluating you, your every word, your every gesture, and your very presence. So go and get that. It's free. It's for you. Just use your mail as a key to access it and enjoy it. And if there's any other question, let me know. Put it down here in comments. Send me a DM. Visit my website, www.VSharper.com. That's VSHARPR.com. And we'll be talking some more. And remember, next Tuesday, noon Eastern Time, go to slido.com and keep your eyes peeled for the invite, because there I'm going to give you the actual link to go to Slido, get your answer in there, your question in there, and I will address them in the same order that they're in the list from top to bottom. You can vote on questions that are there, or you can write your own question if you don't see it in that list so that others can vote it up. And with that, my friend, I wish you an excellent rest of the week. I hope, by the way, that your last weekend was fantastic if you celebrate Thanksgiving. And I wish you a very, very successful rest of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, my friend. Take care.